we're talking fullbacks, so let's look at the other side. Kieran Tierney. Kieran Tierney has basically been phased out, like, you know, and a lot of fans, we've been saying that this has been very harsh. Like, there's a lot of times where Zinchenko has been flagging in matches and continued, and we've conceded a goal and like, there's a lot of times when Zinchenko has been being picked when you could have easily just rotated him out, giving Tierney a match. Now again, there was a lot of people looking at yesterday when the match finished at Emirates. Tierney's doing not a regular clap like one of these to the fans. He's doing an over the head clap to the fans, and I literally saw people reading into this as this is a goodbye sort of thing, as opposed to a regular clap.
The over the head clap is telling though. The over the head clap is telling.
I don't know the science behind clapping in it, but. Kieran Tierney, I know a lot of fans, we all want him to stay. My reasoning for him staying is because I'm still not convinced his body can even manage what his head probably thinks it can manage in terms of 50 to 60 games per season. I think at least for another season, play this kind of, I say bit part role, but at the same time, there's going to be games to play this year.
100%.
He's a better option than Kivior, who may have played left back in his past, but he's obviously a centre back. He's definitely a better defensive option than Zinchenko. If you know it gets mad and we just need to defend and take Zinchenko off, the inverting thing ain't working in a particular match. I want him to stay. It doesn't look likely. What's your thoughts on him staying at Arsenal?
Again, just as you were speaking, I don't think he's staying, because what makes sense in my head is that initially I was excited because I was like, oh, if we can invert the right back, then Tierney can just do the defensive stuff, which he does, and like Ben White does, he can just chill and kind of make the three, because he's played like centre back for Scotland before. You know, he's a good defender, one-on-one defender, but he's playing Kivior there. And then now it makes me think it's about ability on the ball, which Tierney, you know, he's great up and down the wing, you know, chalk on your boots kind of winger / you know, left back. But, you know, you're not going to expect him to take it, clip a ball over the top or send in diags and stuff. And the little I've seen of Kivior, he looks like he's got that in his locker in abundance, to be honest. So, because it will just make sense. Oh, okay, don't worry, Tierney. You might not bomb up as much, but don't worry, we've got Partey here. You might get the opportunity, but he's going to invert. You just sit back, do what you're good at, defend. But he's not doing that. And it's just making me think Arteta's not trying to have a plan B of wingers. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, because Ben White, even though Zinchenko's inverting, Ben White would do that overlapping for Saka, and then that's when we were complaining earlier in the season that Martinelli doesn't have that with Zinchenko, so he has more one-on-one work to do and stuff like that. He gets players over to him quickly. So to me, it just makes sense that, okay, one game you play Partey, then play Tierney. Then when the ball goes over to Martinelli's side, you give him ease by having someone like Tierney bombing past him, who's got a half-decent cross as well. You know, I want him to stay. I just think it's always good to have like someone who's an absolute like is it analog, or when you say like the opposite of the player that you've got, because then we've got something different, and he's a better defender. You know, I just think, like you said, throughout the season, I think we mentioned in the last episode that Tierney's been disrespected, and I think, you know, this was someone who, remember, was it Emery, late stage Emery, and or maybe even part of Arteta, where Tierney was our best player. Our best player was our left back. We can't score a goal without Tierney. You know, Tierney was hitting assists, he was whipping the ball in. I think, was it even against we were in the Europa League, we were playing Benfica, and I think we were 2-1 down and we needed to win, and he came up with the equaliser from left back. You know, like, I just think we're severely underestimating him. And I don't know, Arsenal fans can be a bit fickle at times, because I remember earlier in the season when we played, was it Oxford, or we had a couple games, and obviously Tierney is being told to do the Zinchenko role and he can't do it as well. And yeah, you know, all of a sudden it's like, oh, you can't do it. Oh, get rid of, oh yeah, this. And now when we see Zinchenko flags a bit and stuff, now we're like, yeah, we need Tierney. We can't sell him, to be honest. Again, I don't think we're going to get that sort of quality. And I just like having someone who's different to what we are doing, because game states change. You know, if they start to pack the middle when Zinchenko's out of the game, then we need to spread wide, get someone who can spread the game and stuff like that. But I don't know, man. Just definitely not to Newcastle. Send him back to Celtic or something, man. You know what I mean?
I don't think Celtic have got Tierney bread for what he's going to cost. I don't think they've got it. I can't lie. Yeah. You know, the mad thing is that this team, as pivotal as Tierney was, this team has evolved so quickly that now someone that we thought was going to bloody be our captain is almost on the way out. And obviously we're saying that there's probably still place for him and all that kind of stuff. Deep down, I think Arteta would want to keep him just as another option, although it very much looks like I don't rate him and all that kind of stuff. I think Arteta would want to keep him. Probably got enough business and stuff to think about this summer than selling Tierney and getting another left back in and stuff like that. However, it's Tierney that's thinking, you know, if I'm not getting paid, then I want to go, and I get it, but more than anything, I'm thinking, bro, your body. I don't think your body can carry what you think it can carry. This is what maybe has he been injured this season? Maybe early on in the season.
Maybe early. No, I don't think so. It was Zinchenko who was. I remember there was a part. Zinchenko played the first couple of games, and Zinchenko was out for a while, and it was just Tierney. We were just he played a good portion in, before the World Cup, and then afterwards Zinchenko came back in. Then
remember we were playing. Tierney came back, but we were playing Tomiyasu at left back.
Oh yeah. There was that period where it was like Tierney's back, and then we started playing Tomiyasu. But I think wasn't that for like select games? I remember we did it against Liverpool.
Yeah,
and that seemed to really work.
He repeated the trick against someone else, and I don't think it worked.
Yeah, it didn't slap. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. I think this is even the first season he's kind of he's been most available for us.
Yeah,
so I mean, if I'm Tierney,
that's probably what he's thinking. I've been available and I haven't been picked.
I mean, I think I would love him to stay. I just think with Newcastle, and apparently there's a clause in the contract that Celtic get a percentage of the transfer fee as well, which kind of just shows you where we were as a club, putting something like that in. 25 M's and they get a percentage of the next transfer is ridiculous. So you would want to sell him to someone like Newcastle in the league and say, 45 M's. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, that's the best thing that can come from it, is that we'll get paid well for someone like Tierney.
I was just about to say that's the next conversation. Like, if he does move on to Newcastle, which I think is for him a very good deal.
Yeah,
closer to home, and Champions League football, and he'll be the first option, I'm guessing, at left back at Newcastle. We have to be talking in the way of north of 40 million.
100% minimum. 100%. There's nothing less.
He's still a terrific player. Although yes, we haven't managed to see a lot of it this season, he's still a terrific player. So he's got youth on his side. The one thing is just the injuries and that consistency, but if they buy him, that's their problem, sort of thing. So that shouldn't really come into a factor of how much we get for him. If they want him, that's that's what you're getting in it.
Exactly.
Someone that's injury prone. You're definitely right. I think 45 million minimum.
Honestly,
minimum. Like, I don't want to hear nothing less than that, because that's not a good deal for us.
No, this is the thing. It's, we copped him for 25. Yes, the injury problems. He's still got, I think, a couple of years on the contract. If I'm not mistaken, maybe 2. He's a brilliant left back. I just even think, even with the room of this clause in there, regardless of that, I would be saying, okay, we signed him for 25. There's no way we're selling him for less than, I would even push to 50 if I could, or 45 and add-ons if you guys reach some milestones and stuff, because we got to make sure that we can use that money to obviously repurpose, because then we'll definitely need to go out and get a left back. So you can't.
Do you remember how much Newcastle paid for Kieran Trippier?
I want to say I want to say it was 12 million, but I don't think. I mean, let's see.
12 million and maybe like 150 grand a week or something like that. Maybe.
And, yeah, it was 12 million plus add-ons. So I think, 12 million plus add-ons. But I think he's 30 odd now. So yeah, he was getting on a bit. And I don't think anything was popping for him at Atletico anymore anyway. But I'm sure the wages were comfortable for him.
Yeah, he said he wanted to come back home anyway. Maybe his family wanted to come back to England. Yeah, I would expect about 40, 45 minimum. 50, perfect. Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Take him like 50 mil. That is good business by Arsenal if they can squeeze them for that much. And I think they can.
Yeah,
I think we can, and just talking from a Newcastle point of view, I think he would be a terrific fit for what Newcastle.
Oh, honestly, they're great. You know, he's a hard worker, energy, doesn't shy away from a tackle. You know, he'd be brilliant up there. To be honest, he'd be loved, all sorts. I mean, if they can spend 40 on that Gordon guy from Everton, you know, and he's not done anything, a couple goals for Everton here and there, then yeah. I just hope Edu's got his negotiating cap on, you know, because I don't want to see any, we sold him for 30 million or something dumb like that. Yeah, that just is not worth Arsenal's time. But hopefully he stays. Hopefully he stays. Yeah. Hopefully he stays.
Yeah, and if he does go, let's maximize what we're getting for him.
100%. 100%.